This video is about looking at the sear that operates this gun. The sear is something that when the automatic fire is shooting, or whether it's single fire and the BBs run out, it stops. It will not fire, you cannot pull the trigger, and the bolt will not go back. And so that's what this video is, adjusting and repairing the sear. So first of all, we've got to take the thing apart and remove the clip. Here, and then we did, as the previous video, as removing the bolt handle, and I like to put the parts into a little bag so they cannot be lost, because there are a couple parts in there. And then we're going to separate. Must first cock back the bolt. There we go. So now we're going to clip this and move the bolt forward. Take it apart. And we'll put this away for now. And now we can expose the sear. This is the sear. If you notice, it is a spring-loaded sear, and that's what pops up. But how that works is this. There's a little arm located right there, and as you can see, it pushes up with a spring load. The spring that does that is this. When this is brought down, you can see it disappears. When the spring comes up, it moves up. When the BBs are full in the clip, it comes down. And this little device operates the sear. It pushes this part of the sear, that you can't see it now, but pushes it up and brings this down. This catches with the bolt on the end of the barrel of the gun, and that allows the sear to operate. So we're going to remove the sear right now, and you take off the barrel first. There will be notes here that make it convenient to put it back together again. And again, I like putting these in a bag. That is the part that we're working on, so they don't become lost or confused. And also, I'm going to remove the push bolt here for the upper and put that right up there. Now we can slide that off. And I recommend, this is a note, make sure that when you do this, you put the barrel back into the gun and leave it like that, because it'll make putting the barrel and the front back together very easy. Now you'll notice there's a little Phillips head screwdriver here. Phillips head screw, and we're going to remove that. By the way, I've pre-selected the Phillips head screwdriver. All right, now I have to do one more thing. I've adjusted this. If you notice how the sear, how it doesn't wiggle back and forth, like this, there's very little movement, wiggling. I'm going to remove this piece that I've made in there out of there. Now watch. Now you see it's very wiggly. That's why I put that piece in there. Okay, so now I can take this part out. So you gently push. Be careful. This is a note. Make sure that you put both fingers on the side of each, and it pulls right out. Why do you do that? Well, because there's a tiny spring here. It's right there. And that, you lose that spring, you're in a world of hurt. So you take that out very carefully. And I put it in the same place that I put the very other small part into. And done. Now, put that up, put that over here. This is the sear pin. As you can see, there's that little device that when that arm comes up, it pushes this up, which is really down. And that's what enables that spring, because there's the spring. Okay, this is the sear. Really? It's just fine. Now, one of the tests you have is making sure this is flat and straight. This is the sear, and it must be straight, because if it bends in just a little bit, not much, it's going to really exaggerate that angle, and it will miss the bolt catch that this has to catch on right here. That's the bolt catch. So when it goes down, it catches on that bolt. You want that thing to be away from the bolt when it's up and catching when it's down. If it bends in, this will dig into the white metal that's on the bolt and catch it up. So that's how you adjust the sear. It's a very small piece of metal, and like I said, that's it. That's the sear. You cannot put this thing in. Like I said, mine was damaged because something in here got bent and stuff. So I made this out of a piece of brass. So when you put it in like this, it makes the sear come out, and it doesn't wiggle at all. And that's what's important on this thing. So anyways, and it can only be put in after it's in the clip. So there we are. We're going to put it back together, and then we're going to take it and see how it works. Be careful with that little spring. It's practically invisible. So we're going to put the spring in there, and here's how I do it. You got to just put the bottom of the spring in the little hole like that. Make sure the pin's in, and then you take the spring with a little screwdriver and get it down. Be very, very careful. Put the pin in, and there you go. See? Now it's working. That's the spring action that operates the sear. Take it, make sure your finger is holding it in, shove it back in. And you see the hole come up, and that's when you put the screw back in. Just hand tighten it. Doesn't have to be gorilla done. And I like to put this back in so that it's in there. Sometimes it's difficult. And there it goes in. And now it's in. Alright, now we can put the barrel on. Remember when I had you put that barrel in there, this is why. Be nice and snug, you don't have to jumble around with the barrel. Click. Put that in. Again, no gorillas allowed with this thing. And there you are. And see how it moves? No wiggling back and forth. Very little. And that's what you want. So, bring back our lower. Put the pin back in. And the long end goes down. Bang. Zoom. Turn it around. There's a little tiny pin sticking out of there. That goes to the top right here. And there you are. All back together again. I have the safety on. Nice and easy. It fits right, and everything is well with the world. So, and that's how you do the sear adjustment. Thank you very much.